Hey, it's Aaron again with another reaction video. As you can see, I've brought up some more pool. This is 9-ball pool between the South Dakota kid, Shane Van Boning, and a gentleman, I don't know if he has a nickname, but his name is Albin Ouschan, which I hear is how you're supposed to pronounce it. Ouschan. Everyone says Ocean, so I'll say Ocean. Albin Ouschan versus SVB, Shane Van Boning, in this 2022 European Open final match. I believe Albin's about to break off in the opening rack. We'll see. I think I pulled it up at the beginning.
Cue ball looked a little bit thin there. It sort of come down towards the corner pocket on this right hand side rail. We'll get another look in a moment.
Yeah, I would guess much thinner than he really wanted there on the one. But really, he hasn't cut broke in a while out there on that arena. It's been a head-on break to end that Mario He match. Great camera view there. Has most of the pocket on the two, but I wouldn't call it easy.
Now, for an amateur, and this guy's far from amateur, for an amateur, it might be easy to get that 7-ball in your head. In other words, you might convince yourself that the 7-ball is blocking too much of the pocket and have a tendency to overcut the ball slightly, trying to dodge the 7-ball. But as you can see from this angle, you don't need to. You just split the wicket, shoot it in the heart of the pocket. You have pretty much all of the pocket here. Just get that 7-ball out of your head, which I'm sure a player like Albin Ouschan will. He'll just get down and fire this ball in the hole. And if he does miss, which I don't expect him to miss, if he does miss, it'll probably be because he overcut it a little, trying to dodge the 7-ball, which isn't necessary. Let's see what happens. I am not going to make any predictions in this video. This is a reaction video, not a prediction video. I will react to what they actually do and what the commentators say. I'm not going to predict what they might do. I'm not predicting he's going to miss. I'm predicting he's going to make this ball. We'll see what happens.
It is another step up in distance. The races to 8 and 9 that we had at the start of the week. And the opposite sides of the draw, winners and losers, have gradually been increased. Now it takes 13 for victory.
It was never going to be easy. It's hard to call.
And he did overcut the ball. That doesn't mean he was thinking about the 7-ball. He might have just hit the 2. I doubt the 7-ball gets in the head of these world beaters like it does us amateurs. Well, I guess I'm talking to all amateurs. I might be talking to a world beater right now. But everyone misses. Everyone is human. There are no robots, I don't believe, on the 9-ball tour right now.
What a mistake. It's a half chance. Of course he's going to be disappointed.
Ouschan, as we've said, 32 today. Shane Van Boning will be 40 next year. It's been right at the very top of the game for a decade and a half now.
Yeah, we talked about Ouschan, you know, struggling on the break, the dry breaks and whatnot, but I also saw some mistakes in that match. You know, that was a tough opening shot, right? But it wasn't all just the break in the semifinal, in my opinion.
No, I'm with you, JJ. I thought at times he looked a little bit flustered, and I think in the end it wasn't a case that he won the match. I feel like Mario lost it in the end, and I think Mario he will be absolutely sick.
Yeah, and he's fallen straight here, so the concern is he can't get much closer to the 5, which in turn will allow him to not get much closer to that 6-7 combination. But one thing I always say about this guy is that the ball's laid tough for both players. I don't think there's anyone better, and maybe in the history of pool.
to shoot the 6-7. He could play shape on the short side of the 6 ball, or the long side of the 6. I guess the short side. To shoot it in the lower right-hand corner pocket. Let's see what he does. I'm not making any predictions. I just don't think he has to shoot the combo, as the commentator suggested.
Anyone better that does it than the guy at the table.
Get a piece of hair on it.
Would you pause the shot clock, please?
Referee for this final, Desislava Bojalova from Bulgaria.
JJ, you were wishing that clock was paused back in the Mosconi Cup.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe. I was thinking about that last night. As a matter of fact, I get reminded, but I don't know. Somehow, some way, I feel like I'm going to make up for it. I don't know when or where. It may just be a honeydew back home with my wife, but
You'll have to pick yourself for the team this year to reverse history.
yeah, he may get into the 9 here a little bit. Yeah, I was wondering if he tried to come 2 or if he just draws it and takes a little contact on the 9.
So, Albin Ouschan with a half chance. Shane with a chance. Of course, it wasn't an easy shot, that.
No, the cue ball movement.
I hadn't realized he missed it just until the replay. Now I saw that he missed the ball. Like I said, these guys are human. Even Shane Van Boning is human and misses balls, as all these guys do.
Really sent the degree of difficulty way up the charts. A little more angle on the 5, I think. No problem, but he was a little flat. This is a very difficult situation. A little Efren Reyes in situations like this, I've seen him kick at this ball, even though he can see it.
Yeah, Albin's a very good kicker of the ball, and he's already looking at this.
Yeah, and the reason being the rest of the balls around the table just don't offer a great safety running the cue ball. Now he's going to draw into it.
Requires light hands, let that cue ball work off the rail.
He got robbed there.
Incredible how that didn't fall, but the tables have had a lot of play, and this is better. This is better for the game.
It doesn't feel like an opening rack, does it? With the tension and the twist we've already seen, it feels like something at a deeply advanced stage of the contest.
Yeah, that needs to slow down just a little. Doesn't want to fall too far behind this.
He's done well there. They can always be awkward when they're right in the jaws of the pocket.
As usual, I was wrong. Looks like he has to shoot the 6-7. Or at least he's going to shoot the 6-7. I was just saying he didn't have to. I still believe he didn't have to. If he'd have gotten beat on the 6, he could have shot that in the other corner pocket that the 7 ball is going in.
Very interested to see how Shane attacks this opening break if he gets out here. Or his opening break, excuse me.
Has there been any kind of conversation leading up to this final after the semis?
Well, we talked a little bit, or we texted a little bit before the semis, and I think the main thing is just don't be stubborn with it. That's all. I mean, nothing wrong with giving it a few tries from one side or the other with the cut or the head on. This is falling a little funny. You don't want to ease this ball, and being on the rail, if he goes all the way up and down, he's got to stay steady.
Shane may well be the greatest player I've ever witnessed at thin cuts, edges.
I'll tell you, into the side is where it's really impressive. If you see the back cuts into the side, him and Bustamante are the two I ever into the side for those thin cuts that I've ever seen.
Balls missed on both sides, but in the end it's the world champion Shane Van Boning who takes the opener against Albin Ouschan. The players have been accumulating points throughout the year towards the first official points-based 9-ball world rankings at the end of the year. Van Boning will be number 1 at the end of this tournament, and the live rankings, as we're calling them, whatever happens, and Joshua Filler will be number 2. If Ouschan wins, he'll climb up to 3rd and won't be far behind Filler. It's just a few tournaments left this year. Defeat for Ouschan would mean Francisco Sanchez Ruiz would stay ahead of him in 3rd.
Well, and what do you think this event, and there's those rankings and those scorings on the money won this year?
Yeah, $30,000 for the winner. So Albin Ouschan would virtually double his tally. That's just in ranking events, incidentally. Overall, Ouschan's prize money for the year will be around $100,000 if he wins this final. Now, big moment. How's SVB's break?
Good sign, JJ.
So
that ball's still rolling, but as you can see, that's in the drink. That's in the side pocket. He went 2 rails into the side somehow. That's hard to do, but he didn't. That's in the drink. I'm sure of it.
Oh, you say that?
How many of those cue balls have been lost today for SVB?
Ball in hand.
Went twice across, which we've seen one across, but twice across?
Yeah, and of course, before the cue ball, I was alluding to the 1 ball.
Just a face of frustration. And throughout his semi-final earlier today against Jose Alberto Delgado, it was such a struggle towards the end of the match. He just couldn't get a break that wasn't dry or scratched. And the trend continues right at the start of this final.
And you may wonder why Albin, with ball in hand, plays that 2-5 combination. The 4 just a little tricky maybe to get back up table on the 5. Just kind of takes care of a little bit of work.
Albin Ouschan was bidding for a record-equaling 3rd world title, and he sustained that defeat to Shane Van Boning back in April. Just by getting that far, he'd become the first player even to get to the final on 4 occasions.
Little awkward bridging.
Scratch on the break gave Ouschan the sort of chance he would have dreamed of to open his account. And he's done that very swiftly. All tied up at 1 apiece. I know it resulted in a scratch, which I think we're going to see again here, Jeremy, but from a technical point of view, did you think this was sound? Was he doing anything differently here?
Probably just a little thicker hit on the 1. I mean, that you're trying to miss the scratch 1 rail across. The 2 railer, if it happens, is not really something you're predicting or worried about happening again. He did like seeing the 1 go in, though. So when, and I'd hate to have to say if, but when he gets back to the breaking end, he's got to like a lot of what happened right there, right, Carl?
Yeah, I agree. Not had much luck. I wouldn't say luck, but not really found the 1 ball in the side pocket much. And Albin will have spotted that as well. Let's not be silly.
Yeah, and that was still a forceful break, which is part of it here at the European Open. But I kind of saw Shane take a hair speed off there.
3rd rack. Albin Ouschan to break, 1 rack each.
Really heavy breathing there from Shane, trying to probably calm himself down just a little bit. You can be in these moments, and look at this, both of them back to back. Wow.
So Albin repays the favor by doing the same exact thing. Scratching in the side pocket, 2 rails. That's a hell of a thing. Quite a coincidence. So now Shane comes back to the table with ball in
hand. The new break format.
Foul shot.
Maybe some of you are getting a bit bored of listening to us talking about that, but it has just come in for this event, and some of the things we are seeing, it is pretty special. It really is.
And I might consider a 1-6 combination, kind of a la what Albin did in the last rack. Look at the 5. The 5's in a funny spot by the 9. And you got to get back down for the 7 as well. I know the 1-6 is a little further away, but I might consider a 1-6 combo here.
So Shane got your message, JJ. 1-6 it is.
Commentator, I think it's Jeremy Jones, was right. He's shooting a 1-6 combo. I would have bet that he was not going to shoot this shot, but he's shooting it, I guess, for the reason that Jeremy Jones suggested. The 5 ball's a little gappy. To get from the 5 to the 6 would have been a problem. So he's going to take care of that problem right now.
Would skid a little bit of a kick.
It's been a bit of a white knuckle ride for Van Boning for a lot of this inaugural European Open. As early as his 3rd match, the double elimination stage, he was really pushed by Janiuski. And over the weekend against Wojciech Szewczyk, Sandim Pelovanovic, Mateusz Niagotsky, all of them, to one degree or another, gave him some very serious questions. Jose Alberto Delgado was left to rue some early mistakes. Maybe 1 or 2 little bits of misfortune. Did threaten a late rally, but ended up going down 11-7. And it's very similar to what happened to him at the World Championships. So many close finishes there.
Well, one thing I expect, and I think we'll see with roughly 2 months till the U.S. Open, is you'll see a lot of motivated players coming into that event because they know with the new break format, they're going to get shots. They're going to get chances. I can't wait for the middle of October.
Yeah, and it's not something that is ever going to be figured out. Maybe consistently making the one, but with the cue ball flying around and the balls going all over, you're just simply going to see more pool.
Yeah, randomly racked. You know, the object ball's not put in any place. There for a while we played with the 2 in the back, which I always thought was kind of a bad idea, and that's a compliment to the players. If you keep putting a ball in a certain place, they're going to figure out how to draw a position on it.
For me though, JJ, as good as Shane breaks head on and controls that cue ball, I just feel like he'd get more success doing this. Take a chance on a random ball. You know the power he possesses on the break. Take a chance.
So another costly scratch on the break. Shane Van Boning once again leads by a single rack. It's 2-1 in the early stages of this European Open final in Fulda.
That's why I shouldn't make predictions, because I feel silly now suggesting that he would play. I feel silly suggesting that Shane would play shape on the 6 instead of playing the 6-7 combination when that was blatantly the shot. There's no reason to try to play shape on the 6. Just play the combo, idiot. I'm talking to myself, not Shane. He did play the combo. I'm the idiot. Here we go. This is a 2.5-hour match, so I can tell you right now I'm not going to play the whole match, so don't get too invested. I'm just going to play it for a while and then hang it up. From now on, I'm going to try not to make predictions and just react to what happens.
Well, the break was no friend of either Van Boning or Ouschan in their semi-finals earlier today, and it's continued that way tonight. The last two racks both turning out the same way, scratch on the break. Player making it sits down, the other one mops up. So Van Boning 2-1 in front.
Took a little bit of pace off that.
He needs a kiss up top. Didn't get it, and these are dressed up. I don't think it'll be long before what you were talking about, Carl. SVB going to smashing them. And that's a little the problem, right? If you're not making the one in the side, it's coming cross corner and maybe giving up shots if you're not pocketing another ball.
I just feel with Shane's break, maybe he could start making the one ball in the top corner if he goes head on. That's how good he is. He could soon get dialed in with that break.
Yeah, I agree.
Albin Ouschan has lived perhaps even more dangerously than Shane Van Boning on his way to this final. And to a hill finish in the last 16 against Dennis Graba. The man from Estonia had the break, scratched on it, turned away from the table with a look of real frustration on his face, and Ouschan managed to get over the line. And of course it was a slog all the way against Mario He earlier. His fellow Austrian and multiple World Cup partner looked the winner most of the way, but from 9-7 down, Ouschan found something to win 4 in a row. He contributed to his own downfall in some respects.
So play a little draw stroke here, and the thing is, he'd like to pound it a little with the draw and come down the left side of the table, but the Neufeld doesn't really agree with that as much. He may draw to the right side. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Good speed control there. So the opening 4 racks have been shared, and this is very nicely poised indeed.
Yeah, and none of them won by the breaking player, so it's 2-2. But this was what it was like early on in the World Final. It was neck and neck for a lot of the way, and from 6-5 down, Van Boning just raced away and didn't lose another rack. Won 13-6, just seemed to get stronger and stronger. The winning line came clearer into view. And just fantastic to see this, as these two wonderful stars of the game battle it out here in Germany for this first ever European Open title. Look at the crowd we have here. And Fulda is by no means one of the major cities of Germany, and yet we've drawn them here in big numbers across the weekend.
I think after this rack, I'm going to hang it up, so don't get too invested. Right now, I think it's 2-2. No, I don't know. Whatever it is, I'm going to hang it up after this rack.
There is Ouschan's route. He actually played so well early on. That 9-4 win over Sandra Kuntz. The youngster played so well. Ouschan hardly put a foot wrong. And didn't lose a rack in his next match. He'd only lost 8 by the time he got through his first 4 matches, but you're not going to keep going like that all the way through. He's come through his battles, and he's in another one here. 2-all.
Gee, I wonder if he made a ball in that break. What did he make, like 10 balls? They're playing 9 ball, and I think he made 10 or 11 balls on that break. Let's see, how many did he make? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He made 3 balls on the break. He made the 2 ball, the 4 ball, and the 6 ball. He made 3 balls on that break. That's pretty impressive. Now let's see if he can get out from here.
Yeah, got a nice kiss down there in the corner. A couple nice kisses, actually. Got a nice shot on the one. Got to put a little power into it, though. Cue ball is some distance, and he doesn't have a whole lot of angle. Good thing is the 3's very handy, and the 5's over the pocket as well. You force it across 2 rails here, probably. Huh, Carl?
Yeah, Albin likes that shot.
Well, Albin has what I think is one of the best techniques. His backhand, if we ever get a look at it. And it's not every shot, but he kind of throws the cue a little bit, which I think is a great technique. The cue actually comes out of his hand and re-grabs it on the way through. Very unique and kind of sounds crazy, but stop shot maybe not. Stun shot usually. And you saw it right there.
I didn't. I guess you did it so fast that you couldn't see it.
This 8 ball was always going to be Shane's hope. So this next shot from the purple to the brown 7 angle is needed.
And that's overrun a bit, huh, Carl?
Yeah, he was after the natural path, wasn't he? Maybe he has to get that cue ball moving a little now. Oh, he's looking at the Karen. He's only having a look. I'm not saying he's going to play that. He's just weighing up all options.
Extension code.
Oh, he's so good at most any shot. I don't know if he wants to force it across. When you force it across with a small angle, you could easily lose the speed control. You see, overcut to the pocket, and that's going to cost him a little more cue ball speed.
Where's the cue ball heading? Is it heading towards the side pocket? If it is, he's going to have to get some movement on the cue ball. That's why he's raising the cue. Maybe he's not. Maybe he's just okay.
I think he's swinging this. I think you have to.
Couple of things we've not seen yet in this final. Someone running out from the break. And Albin Ouschan leading. But we've seen them both now. Albin Ouschan hits the front for the first time at 3-2.
Both very similar characters.
Well, here earlier in the match, it's 3-2 in favor of Albin Ouschan, or Ocean, however you want to pronounce it. I'm going to hang it up. I'm sorry if you were getting invested in the match. You can look up the winner of the 2022 European Open to know which of these two players won. I have no idea. You may already know this happened 4 years ago, so you may already know who won. I have no idea. I'd tell you right now. There'll be no spoiler because we're not going to watch the rest of the match. So I'm going to hang it up now. I want to thank you so much for watching. Now, my plan is to share the link to this video on Facebook, because I did the last video I made, which got a lot of views as a result. I'm friends with many people from the St. Louis pool community, so I think that they might be interested in watching 9-ball reaction videos or pool reaction videos. And so, having said all that, I'm going to go back to on full screen and then stop the video. All right, thank you so much for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe along with sharing this video.